Episode 4, Map Views of the G.G.D.I in 7 Gens. Hello, my name is Samantha McCarthy, and I'm the innovator of the Global Green Democracy Initiative, or G.G.D.I, 7 Gens, and I am also the face and voice of @Sammy71Earth YouTube channel that was developed so that I can go through the entire textbook, the Global Green Democracy Initiative, and all the different projects and programs, debunk misinformation, and answer questions about the system. I live in a small city called Thunder Bay in northwestern Ontario, Canada, and I'm a wife of over 30 years to my life partner and a mother of 2 grown adults, and have been concerned about the environment as well as the health and social outcomes for future generations for most of my life. Please watch the videos in order, as I have set the textbook and videos in a way that will make it easier for readers and watchers to be able to understand. You can't skip or miss videos or chapters because each element is relevant to the entire system. Each element is linked to the next, so if you miss some, you miss a big part of how it works. But also the G.G.D.I has a goal to heal humanity and move our world to sustainability, so the whole system is a means to an end. This is the 4th episode of the Global Green Democracy Initiative textbook podcast, which will now go over the overview of the G.G.D.I and 7 Gens maps. I have to disclose that I will be introducing the map systems. I can't introduce all the map parts until after the 58 episodes have been gone through, and actual systems or elements. It is important to introduce the elements in programming, and once all of these introductions have been made, then the reader or the watcher will be introduced to how each and every part that is a partnership to another will be explained. I didn't expand on the maps chapter because there's just too much information. And I had it at the beginning when I wrote the textbook, but found that there was just too much duplication for explaining, and that on itself would be too confusing, so this episode is a better option. The whole system is systems within systems and partnerships. And we can't start discussing this until you understand what the programs I am talking about and how and why we need to invest into them. Also, each program is an answer to what is wrong with our world. In order to heal humanity and our world, we have to attack it from many different angles and different programs and projects. Our solution is not singular, it is multi-pronged. Only once we understand that we have to invest in social, health, housing, addictions, chronic diseases, mental health, democracies, and the environment, and build an economy for our children and future generations, will it all come together. We need to build a system that is resistant to autocratic and communist governments trying to force their way of thinking on us. We need to build our system to be strong with other like-minded countries so that this global hate of dominance will no longer threaten our way of life. People need to understand that a large part of our global discourse is because the 1% own our media networks, and they have failed in their huge responsibilities to the people of our countries. Free speech is so important, but spreading lies, hate, and propaganda has caused our world to be in this global mess. We have watched in real time what supporting this form of media has done to the USA, and it has pitted families against each other and has elected the current occupant of the White House through spreading hate, lies, and propaganda. We need the 99% to come together and fix our world because the 1% won't and refuse to fix their mess. The gross hoarding of their wealth while refusing to support the system will enable the 1% to buy everything up while the rest of us become desperate to survive. But it does not have to be that way. We can build a system where everyone is supported, has affordable housing, a non-poisonous food chain, and we can stop industry from the global destruction of our environment, air, land, and water, the destruction of our wildlife around us, and realize that this system that the 1% have shoved down our throats can be changed to people, the environment, wildlife, sustainable world for all to thrive and save ourselves. We have to deal with the uncomfortable feelings, even painful conclusions, that we have to choose our pain. There is 2 very difficult choices to make. 1, our global destruction because it seems harder to change, thinking we don't have the financial ability to change or have the input of our future. Or 2, accept that change is painful, but our global demise is not an option, that we have to come to terms that we have to change our focus and realize in order to build our new world, we can build our system worker-focused and earth-focused, one that pays good money, has benefits and pensions, but also in shifting our global goal and destiny, we need people, and we, the 99%, can build a new focused world, one that is people over profits. Global demise is unavoidable if we don't change, and it's coming soon. In order to view where the programs are, you need to be introduced to elements or the maps, and the system maps will be overwhelming and confusing. There are systems within systems within systems, and each program has several other programs within it. But to build a seamless system and a true recycled system and get us out of our global mess, but also give people a better world, we need to introduce the relationships they have together. But that won't be until later to make it easier to understand. I will start with the full map system, such as the standard view. This system has both G.G.D.I and 7gens programming. It also has lines that show the partnerships. It is overwhelming, and I can't start talking about all of these relationships until the end of the book. I will be speaking of them as I go through them, trying to build a picture and understanding for you. But it is a huge system, so you will need to be patient. Also, look at how complicated it looks. Now understand that I have to speak of every area, every element in programming. So now you can understand why there are so many episodes, and some are long and some are short. The standard view includes 3 different kinds of countries. They're broken down this way because Canada has a different social structure than, say, the USA. Canada has a tax-based healthcare system, and women have total autonomy over their bodies and choice. In the US, they have a for-profit system, and women are losing their autonomy and choice and are dying for no reason, but white religious men have decided they have power over them. This is criminal. But this is just my opinion. But to have the same programming would be useless. The money needs to have its needs met of that country. So instead, the structure is the same, but where the funds are focused will be different, as the countries have different needs. So this makes the system look so big, but it is just because the programs are country-specific, and I had to separate them. Also within the standard view, there are 3 different types of countries. We have A, Canada; B, developed country, say for example Sweden. I would have used the US, but they are quickly slipping into a dictatorship if the American people don't wake up. The current administration is not compatible with the mission of the G.G.D.I initiative or 7gens, and I am sad to say this, and never in my lifetime would I have thought we would see this happening there. But here we are. I also never thought I would hear the same hate and rhetoric here in Canada, especially from our brothers and sisters in Alberta. But here we are, having American media organizations or so-called news infiltrating our houses, spreading hate, intolerance, division, and racism here. It's causing this hate to leach into our country. And here we are. I guess just like our US counterparts, our cushy lives are making us forget how very special or privileged we are compared to other countries across the world. And instead of building on what we have around us, we start screaming hate and separation at each other. But we, as the 99%, will only get out of this mess industry has gotten us into by having those with research and development, training and vision at the table, building our new world. The 1% are trying to figure out how to replace us with AI and have no plans for us when there will be no jobs, not to mention the global warming threat that is coming at us. Instead of listening to their hate and division, we need to open our minds and take responsibility for our world. Stop listening to the lies and realize that we have to build a system that will have a shorter work week but make a livable wage. Build our new homes with recycled material that is stronger and mildew resistant and fire retardant as well. The 1% have no plans for us or our kids. They buy governments to be able to destroy our world while brainwashing us that working together is bad. But this is their plan, and if we're divided, we are easier to control. But if we stand together, they have to change.